Hey guys, happy November. One of the hardest things for me being a freelancer is scheduling in time for breaks. I just always feel like I could be doing more and could be working harder. I think what is true, because feelings are pretty fleeting and I don't think feelings are really necessarily true, but what is true is that probably I could work more efficiently, and I'm always trying out different ways of doing that. However, I'm like super aware that taking breaks is important and all the hard work has to be balanced out with rest and fun. Sometimes the work is fun though, so I get carried away, I guess. That's why I love Shavasana so much, and I got into Yoga Nidra because it feels justified rest and I don't feel always justified in taking a break. I think I just like keep pushing till I like totally break down and I'm like, alright, can't do this anymore. I gotta take like days off in a row or like sleep in for 13 hours, and that's not very healthy. And I strive to have a life with balance in it, and there's a misconception, I think, that it becomes easier when you make your own schedule. When you work a job that's 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or 9 to 5 or whatever it may be. Other people are mandating and telling you what time. But I think those boundaries are actually pretty healthy, and it takes a lot of discipline to bring that into your life if you're not going to have a boss or a parent or a school teacher telling you what those constraints are. And that's something that I've really been working with, sometimes struggling and sometimes feeling like I make huge strides with this past year or so that I haven't had, that I've just been freelancing, working for myself. So that's, yes, painting and drawing and sculpting, which is awesome, but also teaching yoga and teaching art lessons and figure modeling and things like that. So even though those classes are at specific times, I get to decide which ones I want to take and if I want to pursue more or less. When I first left my job for a company, I was teaching like 14 yoga classes a week for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to get really good at it, and it was the first year that I was teaching yoga, and I thought the more I do it, the more I'll be able to, practice. With more and more practice, it becomes like less scary and become a better teacher, and I'm so glad that I did that. And two, because I felt really confident in my ability to make money teaching yoga. I didn't feel as comfortable or as confident or as knowledgeable on how to get jobs through art. And over the past year, that's really kind of tilted, and it's about half and half. So my money every month comes 50% from my yoga classes and 50% from art. But also on the art side is also workshops and classes. So I think a lot of the work that I did by teaching so many yoga classes, there's not a sustainable amount of yoga classes to be teaching a week for me personally. Everybody's different, but through teaching so many classes and workshops like that, through yoga, I was able to translate a lot of those skills into my art classes and workshops. So that really worked. That really ended up working well together. And over this next year, I would really like to tilt that even more and be making the majority of my money from artwork with just supplemental money from art workshops, and then just really not having to rely on money from yoga classes at all, and just teaching my couple classes at Mystic and my one class at Open Spirit just for the fun of it and for the practice of it and for the community of it, because I love doing it. I love teaching there. I don't want to stop teaching, but I also don't want to have to rely on it financially, which I currently do. So knowing that I have that goal and I'd like to start my own private shop instead of having to go through a website like Society6 or any one of those that does all of the manufacturing and shipping for me, and literally just gives a very, very small percentage, and I don't really have much say on what the packaging looks like or what the final product looks like. All I do is provide the image for them. I'd rather open up an Etsy shop, I think, is the way to go, and I'll be able to reach more people and price things the way I think they should be priced instead of letting a third party do that. So that, I'd like to finish this book that I'm working on by Christmas. That's not in the contract, like that's my personal deadline for it. or like my personal goal, because I really would like the author to have this book in his hands for Christmas or for holidays. I don't know if they celebrate Christmas. To give to his granddaughter as a gift. So that's like my personal goal for this children's book. And so I have all of these personal goals to reach, and I feel like if I'm not working towards them, then I feel like I'm wasting my time, and that's really at the sacrifice of other things in my life. And the other thing is that without proper schedule, it's easier to get like kind of confused and sad. I don't mean to laugh at that. Trying to get back into this like rhythm or some sort of pattern where I'm waking up at the same time and going to bed at the same time. So maybe it's not waking up at 5 a.m. every day, but usually I can get up at 6 or 7 every day. And lately I've been waking up at like 11 o'clock in the morning and going to bed at like 3 or 4 in the morning. Or on Friday I went to bed at 5 a.m. to watch Stranger Things 2. It was totally worth it. But it has its repercussions. I don't have anything that forces me to have to get up that early, except on Thursdays. So I don't know, I've just been feeling kind of sad and off, and kind of like I don't have anything like good to create. I mean, I have a list, I have like so many ideas, and I just don't feel up to it at all. And that's just like, ugh, it's just like not a good place to be. And it's honestly, it's so avoidable just by like putting some structure in place. So yeah, that's basically my adventures in adulting over this past month or so. Well, here's my idea, is that I'm going to set an alarm so that I can be in bed at a reasonable time tonight, and an alarm tomorrow, and I'm not going to hit snooze. Hitting snooze, I'm the kind of person that if I hit snooze, it's like a sign that I'm like probably getting pretty sad or like low, just kind of like in a funk. Like snooze button equals on the way to a meltdown for me, because it means that when I hear that alarm in the morning, nothing's exciting enough for me to get out of bed that first sound. I'm really the kind of person that needs to hear the alarm, or sometimes I even wake up like minutes before the alarm and I'm like, yeah, all right, let's do this, like let's do today. And I just haven't felt like that. I don't want to be this way, but it's all good. Everything waves, and I'm just gonna do my best to get back on some semblance of a schedule and start putting work out again. Hope you're all doing well too. Now that it's getting cold, campfires are nice, so I hope you have friends to be around a campfire with, and I hope you are all still creating. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.